Welcome to Faithful Film Fanatic, where today I am going to review the film Lethal Weapon 2. Warning to the viewers that go watch this movie, there is at least one scene that shows a woman's breast fully exposed. First thing I'd like to talk about and to do is share some really good pros to this sequel. But then also I'd like to dig into how this film felt too different from the world we were invested in from the first one. In many ways, like all the crazy energy we loved from the first one is completely absent in this one. Nobody in this film felt like a character. It all felt like robots talking with no emotion. The bad guys in this film were a complete joke. The story of this film is most simply put about two cops, portrayed by Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, who have to protect this man from these bad guys after he laundered $500 million from these bad guys. The pros to this sequel is if you found the first one too dark, it won't be a problem with this one. All the dark humor from the first one is completely absent in this one. If you thought the way Martin Riggs was portrayed in the first one was just too depressing or not what you really wanted to listen to for enjoyable entertainment, that won't be a problem. Because this one, Martin Riggs is a completely different character, rewritten a little bit. Not enough action. This one cranks up the action all the way to 10. It's a lot more action packed. Not all the action sequences are impressive, but they are nonetheless fun to watch for just a simple action flick. Not enough comedy? Buckle up! Joe Pesci is in this one, and his character and lines will make you laugh till it hurts. Obviously, when you do a sequel, you want to have some differences from the previous story to the sequel story. A lot of people had problems with the 1990 release of Die Hard 2 because it was the exact same story, just told in a different location. This sequel doesn't have that problem of telling a different story and not the same as the first one. Where the problem for me and possibly you lie is this story did not feel like a Lethal Weapon film. To you Lethal Weapon diehard fans, or just to your fans of Lethal Weapon, you may be disappointed to this one. It doesn't feel like the same world, and some examples of that is all the crazy energy from the first film is completely absent in this one. Mel Gibson's character was fun to watch for his unpredictability, for his craziness. But he was predictable in this, and all that crazy that I loved, and you probably loved, was gone in this one. It just felt like a completely different story I was watching. I didn't feel like I was watching the same story, the same world. And what I loved so much, what I was expecting, what I was anticipating, was just all of the actors' chemistry and enjoyment, the energy and their vibes they were giving off. That was missing in this one. And it made the film, honestly, quite boring. I loved the characters in the first one. The characters in this one just felt like talking and moving robots with no emotion. Imagine watching a story and the main character loses someone important to him, or his life's in danger, or his family's held captive, or just anything in your typical action film. But imagine that with no emotions. I just wasn't convinced. I couldn't place myself in this world because of the lacking of emotions, and the acting just wasn't all that great. I felt like every character had the same emotion for every scene. I mean, come on. How did the director not see this? The bad guys in this movie, oh my goodness, are they a joke? They drove me crazy. If when you watch an action film and you really aren't that invested or really care about them being realistic, then great, you will enjoy this. But if you are like me and you want things to be semi-realistic and explain, and you won't enjoy this film. The first thing is the way the bad guys are written is just terrible. You don't understand anything they were talking about when they're just talking to character. They have no real backstory. They're just there to be there. You get this feeling sometimes in the film, and they do these quote unquote things that are supposed to be scary. But it's not scary, it's just stupid. Literally, it feels like the only reason the story continues is because of the stupidity they keep doing. They keep exposing themselves. I just couldn't buy it. If they tried to twist into some comedic way, it would have worked. But it felt like they were trying to be serious with it, and I couldn't enjoy it. Why would the bad guys be doing that? Why wouldn't they be more careful? Why would they be so careless? And they are surprised that the police are after them after threatening the police. I mean, come on! Realistically, the police work with the police, and they deal with scumbags, bad guys like this every day. To me, they just were stupid. And they were so stupid to the point that they just weren't likable. There's nothing likable I could find about them. Most of the entertainment from this film comes from Joe Pesci. I've never really seen his comedic side before this film. I loved him. Everything he said was funny. I could actually relate to his character more than any of the other ones as far as feeling like an outcast or an outsider in some ways. His character never has a dull moment. For me, his humor throughout the film and all his good lines make this movie worth watching. I would actually go as far as to say that Joe Pesci saves this movie from being a complete disaster. I would love you guys to check this film out. I would love to hear your feedback on your thoughts of this film and my podcast. What is your favorite Joe Pesci film? Do you think he is funny? And as always, if you have a film you'd like me to review, please comment it below or message me at Terry Roy at Facebook or TikTok, Faithful Film Fanatic on Twitter, or Red Hunter _16 on Instagram. Please stay tuned to my podcast channel. My next review will be on Lethal Weapon 3. Hope you all have a blessed evening. Thank you for listening to me. God bless you all.